Here are your Court News Ohio top stories in 5 minutes. After years of studying and passing the biggest test of their lives,
you may begin.
Ohio's freshest legal faces found themselves at the Palace Theater for their final step before becoming attorneys.
Because of the unique role lawyers serve in America, ours is a noble and honorable profession that comes with a commitment to honor it.
170 lawyers took their long-awaited oath
And civility.
and joined the profession at the spring bar admissions ceremony on Monday.
Congratulations.
It felt really good, like a real validation of the things I've been doing for the past 3 years. I felt most proud for my family and my friends and whoever helped me along the way. It is a great achievement, and it's something that I'll remember forever.
While there was no shortage of smiles as they shook hands and celebrated getting their licenses,
Brittany May Gregorczyk.
there was a reminder that this was just the next step in a much bigger picture.
Law school's over, the bar's over, but the legal field is continually growing.
Being a lawyer is a journey, not a destination. Whatever the journey brings, your education will help you navigate, and the more trips that you take, the better you will get at navigation.
For those already working in the field, their lives remain roughly the same. However, there are some new perks that come with that piece of paper.
It is kind of cool to walk down the hall and, they'll say, Attorney Smith, or Esquire, Counselor. It's a neat feeling.
As millions of students across the country are wrapping up their studies the first week of May, dozens of new judges are back in school.
It's way better than it was on January 2nd.
Months after getting a crash course on how to conduct a courtroom before ever sitting on a bench, the judiciary class of 2019 is immersed in part 2 of its orientation.
It is like becoming a parent. You can take all the classes in the world, but until you actually have that child, you don't really understand.
On top of instilling info and guidance learned back in December, the faculty is doing a deeper dive to touch on more things these men and women will encounter in their courts. One such session is how to handle the media.
When they're doing their job, they're not your friend.
The man on the mic is Tom Hodson, a journalist turned lawyer who became a municipal and common pleas court judge.
One of the duties of a judge is to educate the public about what the courts do and the function of the courts.
For years, Hodson has taught arbiters across the state on not only what to say, but how to say it.
Being compassionate, being a human being, being someone who cares about fundamental fairness.
A judge's interaction with reporters is no more than a verbal back and forth. Like in a courtroom, it's important for judges to remember how they can dictate that dynamic.
I did have interactions with the media being on Columbus City Council, but now as being a member of the bench and the judiciary, you have to look at it a lot differently.
Get over the fear of media, to see media as something that is a mechanism to really talk to the public that elects you in Ohio.
The arrival of spring in central Ohio is evident from all the people you see on the move. Thousands of them are students from across the state wandering the wondrous halls of the Thomas J. Moyer Ohio Judicial Center.
I definitely wouldn't have expected how much marble there is and how nice it is.
The spring surge is in effect as elementary, middle, and high schoolers not only learn about the Ohio Supreme Court and its history, they experience it. Whether it's a justice or a volunteer entertaining these young fruitful minds, there's no shortage of people or sites to keep the kids stimulated. However, it's not just the juveniles that have wandering eyes, as numerous adult groups also get better acquainted with the building and the state's judicial process.
Each time that I come, there's definitely more information that you receive.
For many visiting groups, there's a hometown connection to the court that makes their visit more memorable.
How about over here?
Students from Cincinnati Country Day spent time with Queen City native Justice Patrick Fisher.
Does anybody know what some of those rights would be in Ohio?
While these middle schoolers from Crestview met Master Commissioner Greg Matthews, who also hails from their Northwest Ohio community.
You can do great things, even coming from a small town like Convoy.
It's reminders like that in an environment like this that can inspire a young person for the rest of their lives.
I've always thought about being a lawyer. I think that this has really brought it to life.
If you'd like to schedule a guided tour or for more information about visiting the Moyer Judicial Center, please call or email the court using the contact info provided on your screen. And that's a look at Court News Ohio's top stories. Visit courtnewsohio.gov for the latest headlines on Ohio's courts. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter.